Hello guys, today we're going to be working on section 1.7, but I just want you guys to make a little note there. Section 1.5, creating composite numbers. I want you to make a note that we skipped this section. So when you're reviewing for your test, you know not to go over that section in your textbook. So just write that down, 1.5, creating composite numbers. Just make a note, we skipped this section. Okay, pause until you have it written down. Okay. Alright, we also skipped section 1.6, so just jot this down as well. 1.6, solving problems using an organized list. Okay, we skipped this section. So just write that down, pause if you need to. And once you're ready, we'll move on. Okay, 1.7, what we're working on today. Okay, 1.7, representing integers. Make sure you write this down. And when you're ready, we'll move on. So integers. I just want you to have take a second here and think about these questions. So we got two pictures here. And I have to ask you, what do these pictures make you think of? So just answer that to yourself now. What do these pictures make you think of? How do they make you feel? Okay, so on one side we got this really, really cold looking picture. So make you think of winter or Antarctica or the Arctic. I would think of like 50 degrees below zero. And over here we got maybe makes you think of summer and hot, warm, the desert, dry, maybe like 35 degrees above zero, 35 degrees Celsius. Okay, so just keep that in mind. These two pictures, they'll come into play as we go through this, but just take a second now, pause if you need to. I want you to draw a number line like this one below. I want you to draw that in your exercise book. Okay, and we'll be working a lot with the number line today. That's why we're starting with that. So pause until you have that written down. When you're ready, come on back. Okay, so no need to write this down. This is just what we're talking about in today's lesson. Learning objective. We are going to understand, at the end of this lesson, you should be able to understand negative numbers and their position on a number line. So that's why we're going to be working with the number line today. Okay, so by the end of the lesson, you should be able to tell me what an integer is, and you should be able to order positive and negative integers with a number line. Alright, so our first note, I want you to copy this out. Write this down. Okay? Take a second, draw this out. We're going to talk about natural numbers and whole numbers and integers. So pause, write that down. When you're ready, we'll come back and discuss that. Okay, so natural numbers. Natural numbers are the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and on and on and on and on. So it starts with 1 and then just goes up. People also call these the counting numbers. Okay, so natural numbers. Okay, so whole numbers. I want you to write these numbers down too as well in natural numbers. Whole numbers, okay, are all of the natural numbers plus 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and on and on and on and on. Okay, so whole numbers include the 0. And an easy way to remember that is whole, got the O, got the 0 looking letter in it, and I got the 0 here. Okay, so whole, got the whole, and these numbers include the whole 0. Okay, today we'll be talking about integers. Okay, so integers include the natural numbers. They also include the whole numbers. And then on top of that, they include what we call negative numbers. Okay, so make sure you write this down. So it includes 0, 1, 2, 3 here, but it also includes -1, -2, -3. And what we'll be looking at today is what these negative numbers, what they mean in real life, in some applications, in some ways, and also where are they on our number line, and how you read them and understand them. Okay? So with that being said, here's our first little note. Okay? So integers, we just talked about it. Okay? Integers are the whole numbers, so 0, 1, 2, 3, and their opposites. So their opposites being -1, -2, and -3. I want you to write that down, and also write this note down. So there are positive integers, for example, +2, so this would be 1, 2, 3, all of these positive numbers, and negative, so for example, -4 integers. So there's positive and negative integers. Okay, pause until you're ready, until you have all this written down, you're ready to go. Okay, so here we have 4 pictures, just to get your mind wrapped around negative numbers. We see negative numbers a lot when it comes to temperature. So I want you to take a second now and think which of these pictures, we got a car covered in a light dusting of snow here. Then we got a picture from, I think, Antarctica, maybe? Or the Arctic, either the North or South Pole. So really cold. We have a little boy out playing, looks like on a summer day. And then we have a really, really dry and hot desert. Okay? So if this is our 0 degrees right here, I want you to order these pictures from coldest to the warmest. So just pause, think about that. When you're ready, we'll come back and discuss. Okay, so first off, the hottest temperature. So the hottest temperature, I think the hottest picture is going to be the desert. Hey, that's fair to assume. So I'm just going to move my pictures down out of the way. Alright, so my hottest picture is going to be up on top. Okay, so this is really, really, really dry. I'm going to just take a guess. I'm just going to say that that's probably 35 degrees C. Okay, and that's a positive, right? Because we're above 0. Positive 35 degrees C. Okay, and I think the next hottest picture is this little boy out playing on a summer's day. So he's wearing shorts, but it's obviously not as dry and hot as the desert here. I'd say this would be, and this is just a guess, this is just an estimate, I'd say that's around probably plus 20 degrees Celsius, say. Because a lot of people are out in their shorts when it gets 20 degrees outside. Okay, so you see these are hot, right? These are summer or desert conditions. That's positive temperature. Now, I think next would be the car with the light dusting of snow. So obviously this picture is not as cold as this picture. This is probably a late fall, early winter. Probably one of the first snowfalls of the year. So I say it might be maybe 0 degrees or a little bit below 0 degrees because we do have water freezing here, right, to make the snow. So I'm going to say it's maybe minus, so minus or negative 2 degrees. So it's 2 degrees below 0. Okay. Now our last picture here, we have really, really, really cold. I'm going to say that's way down here, way below 0, because the further below 0 you go, the colder you get. I'm going to say that's minus 40 degrees Celsius. These are just guesses, but you can see where I'm coming from here. Okay? So that's all I wanted to make a note there of, to see the real life applications of positive numbers above 0 temperature and negative temperatures or negative integers. Okay, so just write this down, just write what's in the red box. So just write, think about a thermometer. We have positive temperatures, positive integers, and negative temperatures, negative integers. Make a quick little bar there. Okay, and then write in any number that is above 0. So like positive, I'm going to write down positive 10 degrees C. And then any number below, I'm going to write down negative 10. So negative 10 degrees will be in the winter, say. Positive 10 degrees would be probably when it warms up a bit in the spring. Right, pause until you're done that. And when you're ready, come on back. Alright, last little talk about hot and cold. Just make this little note here. Okay, so negative 50 degrees C, this is a negative integer. And 36 degrees C, so this desert, this is a positive integer. So just write down what's in the red boxes here. And when you're ready, move on. Okay, so when you're dealing with math problems, you come across words that help you describe either negative or positive. Help you describe it. So some of the negative words, and we're going to see examples of this coming up now. So negative words is down, to the left, backward, and drop. These are all words that go along with negative in math. Some positive words you think of as up, to the right, forward, and rises. Okay, so just quickly jot down those words. Okay, and then here's an example. So I walked up 5 stairs would be a positive, because up is a positive word, positive 5. Or sometimes when we write math, we leave out the positive. So whenever you see a number by itself, that means positive 5. Okay? So either one of these represents walking up 5 stairs. I walked down 5 stairs. So down is our negative word, so we have a negative 5. So that's how we represent this sentence using math. Okay, so here's some more examples. Okay, make sure you have this written down before we move on. If not, we're ready to go. No need to write this down. Here's just some examples. So I walked down 3 stairs. So down is a negative word, so that would be negative 3. Okay, and on our number line we see negative 3 right here. Okay, the elevator went up 4 floors. So up is a positive word, positive 4. And our positive 4 is above the 0, to the right of 0, right here. Okay, the temperature is 2 degrees below 0. Okay, so if I said it was 2 degrees below 0, that'd be cold, right? That'd be minus 2. So 2 degrees below 0. There's our 0, and we're going down 1, 2, and a negative 2. And that is represented in math by negative 2. Okay, here's another little note before we move into some examples. So opposite integers. So we talked about integers. Integers are 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up. That's what it includes. It includes 0, and it includes negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, all the way down. So it includes all those whole numbers, negative and positive. Okay, so opposite integers are integers that are the same distance from 0, but on opposite sides of a number line. So I want you to write that down. And then I want you to quickly sketch your number line below this note and write down, for example, negative 3 and positive 3. So we can see negative 3 and positive 3, they're opposites. Here's our 0 in the middle. And if we go up 3, 1, 2, 3 spaces, we're on positive 3. And if we go down, we go 1, 2, 3, negative 3. And we can see they're the same distance from 0, so they are opposite integers. So just pause until you have that written down, and when you're ready, come on back. Okay, so some examples. Just quickly write this down. Give me the opposite integer of. You don't need to write your number line down. Just this instruction. Give me the opposite integer of positive 5. Okay, so what's the opposite of positive 5? All you gotta do is change your sign to the opposite. So positive 5 is here. Okay, draw that out. Positive 5 is here. Where's our opposite? So we're going 5 above 0, so we're going to go 5 below 0. Right there. Okay, so our opposite is negative 5. If I had a negative 8 down here, negative 8, what's my opposite? Well, it's got to be the same distance from 0 as negative 8, so it's got to be our positive 8. Okay, I have positive 1 here. We go the same distance, but the opposite direction. So we go one space, but to the left. My opposite is negative 1. And if we have positive 9 up here, then I have to go 9 down this way, down to negative 9. They were all the same distance from 0, but just on the opposite sign. Okay? So you can use your number line to help out with that, or you can just flip your signs to find opposite integers. Okay, if you have a question about that, pause here and ask a buddy, or ask me if I'm available. If not, we're ready to move on to the next example and the last example. Okay, so write this down. Write down the integers between negative 7 and positive 7. Okay, use a number line to help. So write this down first before we move on. Pause and make sure you have that written down so that when we do this example, you're fully paying attention and you can follow along. Okay, write down the integers between negative 7 and positive 7. So let me just point out negative 7 on the number line. Here's my 0. Okay, so negative 7 is to the left of 0, so negative 7 is here. It's marked off for us. Okay, and let's find our positive 7. Okay, right there. So now we have to write down the integers in between. Okay, so if you got them marked off like this, it's really easy to see the integers in between. The integers in between are down right here. Negative 6, negative 5. So let's write them out. Okay, so negative 6 is here. This is in between negative 7 and 7. Negative 6, negative 5, negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0. Make sure you get 0 in there too. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 here. So these are all the integers between negative 7 and 7. So all you have to do is mark off the two numbers given, and then follow your number line down. List them all. List them all off. Okay, this is a good example. You'll see some examples like this in your practice work at the end of this lesson. But before we get to that, I want you to answer these reflection questions in your exercise book. 4 very short questions, and you can give short answers for it. Number 1, what did I learn about in this lesson? Did I find it easy, okay, or hard? Write down an integer below 0. So write down a negative number. And write down a positive integer, or an integer above 0. Okay, so answer those questions, and when you're ready, come on back and get your practice work. Okay, so you should have your reflection questions done by now. Alright, so next class we'll be moving on and talking about how to order these integers and see which ones are smaller and larger, just comparing them, okay? But for now, I want you to do the practice work that goes along with this lesson. So practice work textbook, page 92, number 2 to 5, and they're very short questions. Okay, so give those a try. Work together. Ask an older student if you're stuck on these questions, or ask me if I'm available. Okay, good luck.